OpenAI has just released Responses API. In this video, we're going to learn everything we should know about it, also how to implement it and integrate it into our workflows. And what is really cool and something that's very unique about this update that I haven't seen with any other AI company is now we have the ability to finally use the web searching capability anywhere. So let's go ahead and learn about these new tools for building agents. Let's jump in. Welcome back, y'all. In today's video, we are checking out Responses API. It is sponsored by Zapier because, as you already know, me and Zapier have teamed up and we're doing a bunch of cool videos together. So in this video, I want to show you what the heck this even is, how we integrate it, and what we should know about it. So right off the bat, what is this? All Responses API is adding an extra layer of capabilities to our traditional chat completion endpoints. What is a chat completion endpoint, Corbin? That is basically when you send a prompt through the API and you get a response. This is really cool. And one that really stood out to me and what I'm going to show you in this video on how to do is going to be this web search one. This has been gatekept for the last like 2-3 years in the API community. You had to do a bunch of crazy stuff when it comes to web scraping and all these third-party accesses. We don't like that. But now they actually give it the ability to web search in a prompt. I know people are going to like this one. The other capabilities that we'll be able to do in these chat completion prompts now, or just conversations, is the ability to file search within our dashboard or, our developer account, and computer use. I think computer use is there. And wait, let me take a step back. If you don't even know what computer use is, that's basically when the AI takes my little mouse here and is able to click through and browse the internet. I'm actually going to leave a video that shows you how to do this, or a demo of this, in the description down below. It's like operators. I think they definitely did this feature right here because they want other people to build like a software that's really good at functionally doing computer use. Because right now, when you use computer use by OpenAI, it's a very, very beta. Like, it's not that good. But they want some developer, obviously, to make a software built on top of them that's really good. Now, before I dive into the example today, here are 2 very important things you should know about this new API. The first one is that Assistance API, they're deprecating this. This is bye-bye in mid-2026. The reason they're doing that is because now they're kind of leaning towards and pivoting towards this Responses API to be a layer for chat completions API. If you don't know what I mean by layer, think of it this way. Check out this example. This is actually pretty cool. As we know from traditional conversations, and you'll be able to see this in a no-code way with Zapier pretty soon here, we typically just put an input of a prompt and we get our output. And what we've seen in the past is that the model sometimes is like, oh, I can't give you that answer. I'm trained up to October 2023, which can be frustrating. And especially when you're trying to do real-time insights for very specific things in workflows, sometimes you need the internet. I think we all need the internet. We're on the internet right now, the interwebs, www.com. The idea, though, is here we're adding this extra tool layer. And this is an example of the web search preview tool layer here. So now when I ask what was a positive news story from today, instead of it grabbing its database of like up to 2023, it's actually able to get status quo information using this tool layer. I actually like this pivot by OpenAI here to deprecate Assistance API. As Assistance API had extreme value, people liked it, but people don't really play with it that a lot. I didn't really see a lot of videos on it. I didn't really see a lot of people entertaining it. So now that they're giving this feature more of a tool ability to the completions API, makes a lot of sense. If that all sounds like mumbo jumbo, short story is this. Basically now through API, we can web search, file search, and we can also do some crazy computer use, which I'm really interested to see the software products created in that context. Last thing you should know about Responses API, which big kudos to OpenAI. I thought they were going to go a little crazy on us and start charging some premium to even use these tools. But lucky for us, this newest API will make it so that the cost associated with these built-in tools is purely just going to be based on the actual model you use. E.g., Responses API is not priced separately. Tokens are billed at the chosen language model's input and output rates. Therefore, you choose GPT-4o right here, the input and the output cost. Exact same if you use a tool like web search. Pretty big deal. I think they could have went a route here where they charged premium on this, but it seems like they're opting to just give more capability to endpoints we already previously used in our development workflow. I like it. Okay, enough talking. Let's see it in action. One last side note, you can go to the playground here, play around with it if you want to see it in like a playground dev environment. So I can overview the playground. I can choose my tool, GPT-4o, cool. I can create a function, file search, web search. We want to see this in action in a real workflow, so I'll show you that. The steps and processes I'm going to show you is going to be able to work for web search and file search. We're going to come over here to Zapier here, and we're going to create a new Zap. We're going to title Response API. Because what I'm trying to show you today is just how to use this Response API. We're going to jump straight to action here and set up our ChatGPT block. ChatGPT. The action event here is going to be API request. Now, I assume that in the future, when the Zapier team gets around to it, they're going to add this as its own little specific tool thing, and you're going to be able to click it and go that way. For now, though, we're going to do an API request. Don't worry, I'm going to provide the code either in the description or as the first comment in this video. select your account. Plus the code you're about to see is actually very simple. It's only a couple lines. It's just a payload. So we're going to go and do the HTTP method of post. If you want a little context of what that means we're just sending data. We're making a request. We're like, yo, we have a prompt here. We want to do some web searching. Give me an output. The URL, this is where we're sending the request to. Basically, like if you ever DM'd OpenAI on Instagram or something like that. Do they even have an Instagram? They might not have an Instagram. I think they do, though. But if you ever did DM OpenAI on Instagram, this is our way of DMing their API servers for response. I'm trying to make this make sense, okay, y'all? Then in the request headers, this is essentially like we're sending a request. We're like, hey, we need something here. We need to have the correct authentication. So the first thing we're going to send is going to be the content type. Essentially, what language are we sending our payload in? It's going to be in JSON. We do add value set, and then we're going to add the text authorization here. This right here is going to be your key, which we'll grab. But for now, this is the body. What's great is we can simply just paste the body that we got from the example here, which is right here. Boom. Notice we don't have to add the extra lines of all this information because Zapier handles that for us. So all we really need to do is essentially just give what the heck we want. So in this context, I'm going to choose the model GPT-4o. Obviously, if you want a different model, opt for O1, O3 mini, whatever it may be. Then we're going to use the tool of Web Search Preview as identified in the documentation, which I'll leave in the description down below as well. And then our input is going to be our prompt. So instead of them calling it prompt here, they just call it input. Why did they rename it? I don't know. I don't work at OpenAI. Then I'm going to say, what was a positive news story from today? This is to gut check whether or not I can actually search information and give us status quo information. So the last step here is just going to be adding your API key, which I've done in a ton of tutorials. I'll actually link another tutorial at the end here that basically goes over in 22 minutes everything you need to know about artificial intelligence when integrating into Zapier. 22-minute tutorial, beginners, API keys, all fun, Anthropic, Claude, Gemini. Are you a Gemini? Are you a Leo? You know the vibes. Okay, let's put the API key in. Once I put this API key in, which will start with an SK, I'm going to hit continue, and we're going to test this step. So I'm going to go hit test step. And in theory here, and you might be like, Corbin, I see your authorization token. Don't worry. I'm going to delete it. You can try it. Pause the video. It's like those videos that used to be like, find the random Amazon gift card. If you find it, it's $50 and it's yours. You know what I'm talking about. All right, test the step. I'm going to take this one step further here as well. And whatever stories it gives me, I'm going to search it on Google and see if it's real. Like it didn't just hallucinate and made up a news story. And the date is March 17th, so I should see March 17th here. We got a response here. How OpenAI typically does outputs when doing it in this context, it'll just give you a ton of data. Don't worry. Just scroll down. And here we go. This is our output here, which is today, March 17th, 2025. Correct. Asian and European stock markets experienced significant gains, reflecting investor optimism in these regions. It actually went pretty far here, though, which is really cool, as it gave the source as well. So let's check this out. Supposedly it's this. It did give the source, and I'm getting a bunch of little dinosaurs. That's fine. That's pretty nice. I think one thing I'm impressed with in this output is I wasn't actually expecting it to give the source at all. I was actually expecting it just to give a simple output of just text. It does seem like they are giving us access to the direct endpoint that we see with the web searching capability within ChatGPT now. And when I say that, I mean this capability right here. When I click search here, I think we're getting access to that. Probably not the best version of it, obviously, because OpenAI is going to try to gatekeep that. But for now, that's pretty cool. And we set up an automation with no code and access to this endpoint. So because we use the code from here, I'm going to go ahead and just leave this link in the description down below so you can copy it directly from this example. Obviously, the input is going to be, what are you asking? For example, what is the price of Apple today? And it'll give you the status quo. That just about does today's video. Make sure you leave a like. It's completely free. Web search is awesome. The amount of demand I've seen for that specific feature has been a lot in the last 2 years. So that's cool that came out now. The other one that really piqued my interest is that computer use. That right there is an obvious play by OpenAI to be like, you know what? We build the tech. Let's just let other developers create a really cool software that's going to really leverage the abilities of computer use and what that can do in someone's workflow. As that is a whole nother situation, but without further ado, I'll see you in the next video. That right there is that 20-minute video going over everything you need to know about AI and Zapier as fast as possible. That's a random video. That's my face. I'll see you in the next video.